ग्रेट भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की जय। श्री गंगा माई की जय। श्री जमुना माई की जय। भक्तिमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Hare Bol. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. Good morning. Welcome all of you to today's Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. So we are reading from 3rd canto, chapter 2nd, Remembrance of Lord Krishna.
Which verse?
This verse is text 15.
Sorry, we don't have the laptop to project it. So if you can just pull it up on your phones. That
would be great, yeah. So I'm going to say, and you please repeat. Text 15, 3.2.15. Text 15. Swashanta Rupeshwa. Can you repeat? Itarhi Swarupe Abhayartya Manasva Anukampitatma Paravaresho Mahad Amshayukto Hi Ajopi Jato Bhagavan Yatagni Swashanta Rupeshva Itarihi Swarupe Abhagyartya Manasva Anukampitatma Paravaresho Mahad Amsayukto Hi Ajopi Jato Bhagavan Yatagni Swashanta Rupesh Itari Swarupe Abhiyartya Manesva Anukampitatma Paravaresho Mahad Amshayukto Hi Ajopi Jato Bhagavan Yatagni. Anyone would like to repeat?
Swasanta Rupe Shmitare Swarupe Abhyadyamanesvad Anukampitatma Paravaresho Mahadam Shoyukto Iyajo pijato bhagavan yatagagni.
Iyajo apijato bhagavan yatagni. Swasanta rupe svitarehe swarupe.
Swasanta rupe shitare swarupe.
Api altyamane swanukampitatma.
Abhiyantrimane shvanukampitatma.
Paravaresho mahad ansayukto.
Paravaresho mahat amshayukto.
Iyajo apijato bhagavan yatagni.
Ajo pinjato bhagwan yatagni. Swachanta rupe chitrahe swarupe. Abhyartyavaneshwanukampitatma. Paravaresho mahat amshayukto. He ajo pijato bhagwan yatagni. Ladies,
Swashanta rupe sitare swarupe.
swachanta rupe shitre swarupe.
Adhyartam myamane anukampitatma.
Abhyartyamaneshwanukampitatma.
Paravaresho maham amchayukto.
Paravaresho mahat amshayukto.
Iyajo pijato bhagavan yatagni.
He ajo pijato bhagwan yatagni. Synonyms. Swashanta rupeshu. Onto the peaceful devotees of the Lord. Am I audible? To everyone. Okay. Itare, others, non-devotees, swarupehe, according to their own modes of nature. Abhyar dya manishu, being harassed by. Anukampita atma, the all-compassionate Lord. Para avra, spiritual and material. Ishaha, controller. Mahat amsha yukta, accompanied by the plenary portion of Mahat Tattva. He, certainly, Ajaha, the unborn. Api, although, Jataha, is born. Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead. Yatha, as if. Agnihi, the fire. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead, the all-compassionate controller of both the spiritual and material creations, is unborn. But when there is friction between His peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, He takes birth, just like fire, accompanied by the Mahat Tattva. Purport. The devotees of the Lord are by nature peaceful because they have no material hankering. A liberated soul has no hankering, and therefore he has no lamentation. One who wants to possesses, also laments when he loses his possession. Devotees have no hankerings for material possessions and no hankering for spiritual salvation. They are situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord as a matter of duty. And they do not mind where they are or how they have to act. Karmis, Jnanis, and Yogis all hanker to possess some material or spiritual assets. Karmis want material possessions. Jnanis and Yogis want spiritual possessions. But devotees do not want any material or spiritual assets. They want only to serve the Lord anywhere in the material or spiritual worlds that the Lord desires. And the Lord is always specifically compassionate towards such devotees. The karmis, jnanis, and yogis have their particular mentalities in the modes of nature, and therefore they are called itara or non-devotees. These itaras, including even the yogis, sometimes harass the devotees of the Lord. Durvasa Muni, a great yogi, harassed Maharaj by Amrish because the latter was a great devotee of the Lord. And the great Karmi and Jnani, Hiranyakashipu, even harassed his own Vaishnava son, Prahlad Maharaj. There are many instances of such harassment of the peaceful devotees of the Lord by the Hitaras. When such friction takes place, the Lord, out of his great compassion towards his pure devotees, appears in person, accompanied by his plenary portions controlling the Mahatattva. The Lord is everywhere in both the material and spiritual domains, and he appears for the sake of his devotees when there is friction between his devotee and the non-devotee. As electricity is generated by friction of matter anywhere and everywhere, the Lord, being all-pervading, appears because of the friction of devotees and non-devotees. When Lord Krishna appears on a mission, all his plenary portions accompany him. When he appeared as the son of Vasudeva, there were differences of opinion about his incarnation. Some said he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Some said he is an incarnation of Narayan. And others said he is the incarnation of Shirodaksha Vishnu. But actually, he is the original supreme personality of Godhead, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And Narayana, the Purushas, and all other incarnations accompany him to function as different parts of his pastimes. Mahad Amsha Yuktaha indicates that he is accompanied by the Purushas who create the Mahatattva. It is confirmed in the Vedic hymns, Maha Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam. Lord Krishna appeared just like electricity, where there was friction between Kamsa and Vasudeva and Ugrasena. Vasudeva and Ugrasena were the Lord's devotees, and Kamsa, a representative of the Karmis and Jnanis, was a non-devotee. Krishna, as he is compared to sun. He first appeared from the ocean of womb of Devaki, and gradually he satisfied the inhabitants of the places surrounding Mathura, just as the sun enlivens the lotus flower in the morning. After gradually rising to the meridian of Dwarka, the Lord set like the sun, placing everything in darkness as described by Uddhava. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurure Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So again, once again, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran is as glorious as Lord Shri Krishna himself. In Padma Puran, it describes that all the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran can be compared to the different limbs of the Supreme Being. And not only that, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran shows us the way to the highest absolute truth. The glory of Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran is immense. No words can describe it. It's just not the book. It's the reality with which we can see that Supreme Person, which we cannot see otherwise. So we are discussing Canto 3, Chapter 2. So what I'm going to do, a brief discussion of what is happening and what has happened till now, and then dive into today's verse, into translation as well as the purport. Shankadic Rishis they asked very beautiful question from Sutta Goswami. They asked about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. Now, Vidura and Maitreya both are devotees of Lord. They knew then devotees of Lord meet with each other. They discuss about Krishna. And Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita describes Madchitta Madhgata Pranam Bodhiyantam Parasparam Kathayantas Jamam Nityam Dushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. That whenever my devotees meet, they discuss about me, they glorify me. And that's what is happening. Canto 3rd starts with the descriptions of Vidura's maturity and detachment, and also describes his journey to pilgrimages. And Vidura then met with Uddhava on the banks of holy river Yamuna and asked about the Lord Krishna and about the welfare of his about the welfare of his relatives. And that's what all started. Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna. This chapter, from chapter 2nd till chapter 4th, we are getting a glimpse of the beautiful and wonderful pastimes of Krishna, a glimpse of Canto 10. Uddhava is going to describe very briefly about the pastimes of Krishna. When Vidura asked about Lord Krishna, Uddhava went into meditation, into ecstasy. And from verses 1 to 6, it has been described that Uddhava was such an exalted personality that even by thinking about Krishna, he started crying in love and separation from him. So Lord Krishna is absolute. And the love in union as well as love in separation from him, they both are the same. Gives pleasure to his devotees. And verses 7 till 11 in this particular chapter 2nd, Remembrance of Lord Krishna, talks about the unfortunate situation of Yadu dynasty. Uddhava, after heard questions from Vidur Maharaj, he started speaking almost after a murta, and a murta is 48 minutes. And he started with the unfortunate situation of Yadu dynasty. He spoke that son which arose in our dynasty as Lord Krishna, he just wrapped up all the pastimes and he went away. And he also described that how fortunate some of the members of our Yadu dynasties were that they did not recognize the supreme position of Krishna, that he is Bhagwan, complete manifestation of all those 6 opulences. And then going further, Uddhava started describing about the qualities of Lord. In 13th and in 14th verse, he described about the beautiful form of Lord. He said that Krishna is ornament of all ornaments. You know, when we decorate Krishna with ornaments, pujaris know, then it's not the beauty of ornament by which Krishna is looking beautiful. It's Krishna who is making that ornament look beautiful. That's what Uddhava is saying. He's saying Krishna is ornament of all the ornaments. And also described in 14th verse about the situation of gopis, about the absorption of gopis in love for Krishna. And shifting from verse 14 to today's verse 15. So verse 12, 13, 14 describe the beautiful quality, or I'm sorry, the quality of beauty in Krishna. And this verse 15 is describing the compassionate nature of Lord Krishna. So this beauty and compassion, they are the two qualities by which devotees get attracted towards Lord. Right? How many of you come to the temple to see the beautiful form of Lord? How many of you? Yes, Radha Sharad Bihari, they are looking so stunning this morning. All thanks to pujaris that, they decorate so nicely. So these two qualities, out of infinite qualities of Lord, these two qualities are the qualities which just touch the hearts of devotees. Compassionate nature of Lord. The personality of Godhead, the all-compassionate controller of both spiritual and material creation, is unborn. But when there is friction between his peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, he takes birth just like fire, accompanied by the Mahatattva. So usually what happens, translation also depicts some themes, not one theme. Compassionate nature of Lord, and also the reason for his appearance is given here. One of the reasons is given here. And also purport also depicts certain themes. So if we get into just the crux of it, Swabhava of Bhagwan, Swabhava of Bhakt, and Swabhava of Bhakti has been described here. What is Swabhava? Characteristics of Supreme Lord. Characteristics of our devotee in the purport. And the connection between the two, Bhakti, has been explained very nicely in here. So Krishna, there are several reasons for Krishna to take birth or to appear in this material world. And there are layers and layers and layers. Interesting thing is that there are few visible reasons and there is one invisible reason. Let's talk about the visible reasons which Krishna is talking himself in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. He says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamani. Next verse. Paritranaye sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaye sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna is saying, whenever there is decline of religious practices and whenever there is increase in the activities of miscreants, in order to protect my devotees, I appear. And in next verse, 4.9, Krishna is saying, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha, vakta deha punarjanma, neti mam eti so Arjuna. Krishna is saying, one who understands the transcendental reason of my appearance can come back to me. So we have encountered so many reasons right here. Krishna comes to establish religious principles, to protect his devotees, to claim all the conditioned souls back to his spiritual world. And what's the invisible reason? To have fun, to enjoy. Because for all these reasons, he can be sitting very comfortably in his Goloka and just do with his desire. He's so powerful. But just to have fun, that's the invisible reason. But he talks about it in so many places, but still this concept is invisible. Who can crack this concept? Devotees of the Lord. From visible to invisible. Only devotees of the Lord can crack this mystery. Uddhava is as described that Krishna's appearance, although he is unborn, but still he appears just like the rising of sun and setting of sun. When sun rises in one hemisphere, we can see, but when sun is setting in other hemisphere, it is rising in some other part of the world, right? So sun is always there. So similarly, when Krishna comes, and how he comes? As a fire. As a fire. Now, what do we understand by this? So there is friction between the wood or stone, then fire comes automatically, right? So when there is a friction between the devotees of the Lord and those people who are materially motivated, Krishna appears to protect his devotees. But Krishna, in his original form as Lord Krishna, appears only in one day of Brahma, in one kalpa. And at that time, he comes along with all his incarnation, all his amshas, Shirodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, all his Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, all accompanied him in one supreme person, Krishna. And that's what the translation is saying here. The compassionate nature. Krishna's compassion knows no boundary. Knows no boundary. When he was performing his pastimes in the manifested world, his manifested pastimes, at that time, compassion for the residents of Vrindavan, compassion for all those princesses who were captured by the demon Nargasura, and he married all of them. Compassion towards his dear friend Sudama. So many stories which can show us the compassion of the Lord. Now, what about the devotees? Srila Prabhupada started the purport with, the devotees of the Lord are by nature peaceful because they have no material hankering. So the characteristics of devotees are also described in the purport. And here, and this part is very, very interesting. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atev Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Shakaliya Ashanta. That means the devotee of Lord is always peaceful because he is desireless. Now, nobody can become desireless because desire and consciousness are two symptoms of the soul. But by what do we understand by desirelessness? Desireless means only desiring for the pleasure of the Lord. That's the meaning of being desireless. And devotees, Jai Shri Shri Radha Charan Bihari Ji Radha. Devotees of the Lord, they are desireless because they know that everything is for the happiness for Krishna. And Krishna is the only enjoyer. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhirda Sarva Bhutanam Yatva Mam Shantim Rachati. So the three things have been described here. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam. I am the enjoyer of all the austerities of everything. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the chief of the entire material and spiritual world. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. So here the Sarva Bhutanam. I am the well-wisher of all the living entities. Natva mam shantim rachati. That person who understands these three things attains peace. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shant. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakaliya Ashant. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. Bhukti, materialistic people who wants to just gain material benefits. Mukti, those people who are yearning for liberation from this material world. They are just trying to attain something for their own pleasure. Siddhi, Siddhi Kami, yogi who is trying to attain mystic powers for material, name, fame. For such a fame that, he wants to become leader in this material world by showing his mystical powers. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakaliya Ashan. They are always so restless, hankering for the desires because they are trying to fulfill their own desires. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Avashya Rakshibo Krishna. That means I have no desire. I know that Krishna is going to protect me. That doesn't mean that we should use Krishna as our assistant. No. That means to be completely dependent on the plans of Krishna. But at the same time, execute your duties. That's the meaning of this. Avashya Rakshibo Krishna. And Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is saying, Arjuna, go and declare that my devotees never perish. Go and declare that to each and everybody. My devotees never perish. And Srila Prabhupada is given example of Maharaj Amrish in the purport. Maharaj Amrish, such a wonderful devotee. Durvasa Muni, I am not going to explain the entire story. Durvasa Muni was trying to kill him. Now there are so many kinds of Vaishnava Prats, and we have to be really careful from those levels of Vaishnava Prat. Starting from the lowest level, just do a Prat in your mind. Level up, ignore a devotee purposefully. Next, verbally abuse, verbally just say something which is not palatable for another person to hear. Verbally and mentally both. Last one, physical abuse. Physically, when you want to kill a devotee, Vaishnava Prat, the highest rank. And Durvasa Muni committed the most highest level of Vaishnava Prat. And what happened at that time? You know the story. You know, I have explained. What happened? Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna just came to kill Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni just ran in the three worlds. And ultimately, he just went to Krishna and he said, Please help. Everyone says, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagat Ditaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namah. You are the savior of Brahmanas. How can you say no to me? And Krishna says, yes, you are absolutely right. That's the truth. I'm the savior of Brahmanas. And they are even considered head of my Virat Rupa. But at the same time, I'm the servant of my devotees. I'm the servant of those who love me so much. That's what was the reply of Krishna. Go and ask forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj. And Amrish Maharaj, he was so kind that he did not even take the offense of Durvasa Muni. He was on the verge of dying because of a demoness which was created by the mystic power of Durvasa Muni. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is another very beautiful verse which comes, Bhakta Swabhava Agna Dosha Shama Kare. Bhakta Swabhava Agna Dosha Shama Kare. Krishna Swabhava Bhakta Ninda Sahita Na Pare. Krishna Swabhava Bhakta Ninda Sahite Na Pare. Means the characteristics of a bhakta, he doesn't even take offenses because he thinks that I deserve it. That's why I'm here. I deserve it. I'm a criminal. And that's why I'm in this prison cell of material world. I deserve it. But Krishna, Bhakta Ninda Sahite Na Pare, he cannot take the offenses. Cannot take the offenses which are done for his devotees. So many examples have been given in Shastras. Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about the story of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, one of a very prominent associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was given a name Namacharya by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in some literatures, he is also described as an incarnation of Lord Brahma. As Haridas Thakur, once he was explaining that even a person comes into the situation of Namabhas. What is Namabhas? When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we start getting little bit feeling for the names of Lord. Little bit. We are not yet there. But little bit feeling. That's called Namabhas state. Namabhas stage. So he said, even a person reach up to this stage of Namabhas, he can get liberated. And there was one other scholar by the name Gopal Chakravarti. He started blaspheming Haridas Thakur. He said, whatever you are saying is not correct. And if you are misleading people by quoting wrong things from the Shastras, then your nose will going to fall off in 3 days. Haridas Thakur did not take any offense. Bhakta Swabhava Agna Dosha Shama Kare. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the offense. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got to know that this has been this has been discussed between both Haridas Thakur and Gopal Chakravarti. Then within 3 days, Gopal Chakravarti got leprosy. And his nose fell, not the nose of Haridas Thakur. I'm not saying that Krishna is cruel and he is going to punish you. No. Even you commit offenses for Krishna, he will forgive. He's so compassionate, as we discussed in the translation, right? He's so compassionate. And there are so many stories. But because of limitation of time, I cannot describe everything here. So coming on to the next thing, next story. Not story, but Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was talking with Sanatana Goswami. This happened when Sanatana Goswami, he was going to visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at that time, he took such a long time to come to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, Sanatan, why you are so late? Sanatana Goswami said, I'm such a fallen soul, and the way which comes to you directly is in front of Jagannath Puri temple in Odisha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so, he said, I'm a fallen soul. Those Daityas are the priests of Jagannath Puri. And he said, I don't want them to even think that I have crossed in front of the temple. I'm so fallen. So he took some other route. He detoured his entire route to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited this verse. Yadyapi tumi ho jagat pavan, toma sparshe pavitra haya dev munigan, tathapi bhakta swabhava, maryada rakshanam, maryada palana haya sadudra bhushana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Sanatan, although with your touch, the entire universe can deliver, but still you are maintaining our characteristics of a devotee as a Vaishnava. And that's the Vaishnava etiquette. My dear friends, we cannot become Vaishnava by tilak, sari, dhoti. Becoming a Vaishnava is an internal change, is an etiquette. Is that etiquette, if you are not displaying that etiquette, that even if you know philosophy, even if you are chanting, even you are reading, you are hearing, in eyes of Krishna, you are still fall under the category of Bhukti Mukti Siddhika. Vaishnava etiquette, Vaishnava achar is the most important characteristics of a devotee. And that only manifests if you are changing from here. But if you feel, if I just give class here and at the end of class, I don't even talk to you, don't even, say harsh words to you, will you listen to me? Will you think that, this is just a show, right? This is just a show then. But we are not here to make a show of anything. We are here to show the world that Prabhupada has really selected such nice representatives in Krishna conscious army. Vaishnava etiquette. Preaching is the essence of this movement, right? Preaching is the essence of this movement. So many levels of preaching. I cannot sing, I cannot give class. That's okay, but can you behave? Don't tell me what you are doing. Show me with your behavior what you want to preach. Walk your talk. You are not doing that. You are fooling yourself. Nobody else. Actually, nobody else. Krishna is right there as a super soul, watching each one of us. Maybe in eyes of other devotees, I am climbing up the ladder. But in Krishna's eyes, what I said, what is the Swabhava of Krishna? Bhakta Ninda Sahite Napat. He knows who is where as devotees. Story of Chitraketu Maharaj just remind me of the compassionate nature and the same Agna Dosha Shama Kare, that the devotee of Lord doesn't even care that, someone else is making offenses for me, against me. Chitraketu Maharaj, a wonderful story. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was traveling in his plane and he saw, and he was going up, he was crossing Kailash mountain where Lord Shiva resides. So at that time, Lord Shiva was sitting and Mother Parvati, his consort, she was sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva. And there was an assembly just like this. Narad Muni was there, and big Sanat Kumar's saints were there, sitting there, sons of Brahma. They were sitting there. And Lord Shiva, he was giving a discourse with Mother Parvati on his lap. Chitraketu Maharaj, a great devotee of Lord, saw this and he made a comment that how come Lord Shiva is giving discourse with his consort on his lap? Chitraketu Maharaj, Mother Parvati heard that, and Mother Parvati cursed him. Because you have such mentality of a demon, go and become demon, my son. Chitraketu Maharaj fell on the feet of Mother Parvati. He did not try. He did not try to defend himself. But he asked for forgiveness and he said that my motive of making that, I'm sorry, he did not say that. Lord Shiva said that later. So at that time, Chitraketu Maharaj accepted the curse without any hesitation. And he left. And Lord Shiva asked Mother Parvati, did you see? He did not even try to defend himself. He is becoming a demon. Now, he's going to become Vrittasura. Wonderful story in Bhagavatam again, but not going to go there. So, Mother Parvati has said, yes, I saw. Lord Shiva said, that's the quality of a devotee. He did not even try to defend himself. He did not ask anything from you, just accepted it. That's a devotee. I'm not saying that we just go and become that level of a devotee, but at least there is a start. There are problems. From Shraddha, we come up to Sadhu Sangha. From Sadhu Sangha, we are doing Bhajan Kriya, reading, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting our rounds. We are doing everything. Anartha Nivritti is the stage where we just stuck ourselves. So all these things are very, very important. These stages of devotional life, of bhakti, which has been given to us by Rupa Goswami. We are stuck in the stage of Anartha Nivritti. And when our Bhajan Kriya become solid, become proper, then this stage of Anartha Nivritti, we will cross it. I'm going to stop my discussion with one algorithm story, which I just read, and I think that that story really makes sense here. This is the story of a diamond. A fisherman, he was fishing, and he caught a fish. And he was trying to cut the fish. At that time, he found a jewel, a diamond, a big diamond from the stomach of a fish. And he became so happy, but he did not know the value of that diamond. And he went to a merchant. And he asked merchant, do you want to purchase this? I don't know, what is this? And the merchant saw this, and because of his experience in this business, he evaluated in his mind, oh my God, this is such a precious jewel. And that merchant said, yes, yes, I'm going to buy this from you. And he gave him $1,000 for that. Fisherman was happy, merchant was extremely happy. And then he went to show that diamond to the king in order to gain more money. King saw this, and merchant got whatever value he demanded for that jewel, for that diamond, maybe $300,000, let's just say. He became so happy. And once in the kingdom of that king, a saint arrived. And that king, and the jewel was sitting on the throne of the king. That saint looked at it. He said, from where did you get this jewel? He said, oh yeah, I just purchased it. He said, in scriptures, it has been mentioned that this jewel is so precious. You cannot find this jewel again, ever. There is no replacement for this jewel. So be happy with this jewel. And when king heard about it, the importance of that jewel, he kept that jewel in his safe, that I'm going to just pass this jewel on into my generation. I'm never going to sell it. So this is the situation. The first person, fisherman, materialistic person, who doesn't even know the value of this human life, who doesn't even know the value of the Supreme Lord. And he is just selling his human life just for cheap, limited, temporary benefits and pleasures of this material world. The other person, merchant, he is Mukti Bhukti Yogi, who wants to merge into transcendence, who wants to come back here, a merchant, a yogi, who wants to execute his material, who wants to execute his things, his meditation, just to gain mystic opulences. A merchant. He is better than fisherman, but still he doesn't know the essence. King. Who is the king? Devotee of the Lord. Who is that saint? Spiritual master. Who is that king? Devotee. Who is the most beneficiary out of the three? King. Obviously king, because he has kept that jewel forever. Forever in his kingdom, not to sell again, because there is no replacement of it. So in lives of devotees, there is no replacement for Krishna, no replacement of God. And that's why the word says, the devotee of Lord is always desireless. Not that he doesn't desire anything, but the meaning is that he desires only for the pleasure of Krishna. And those who desire for themselves, who are keeping themselves into picture, they are still revolving around the material accomplishments. No matter who is he, yogi, dhyana yogi, jnani. Jnani is trying to read so many literature just to impress people, or just to merge himself into the effulgence of Lord. But it's like waiting in a traffic. You know, sometimes you wait in a traffic, and what happens? You just come back home because you're not, you don't want to go further because the destination is so far. So this person who merged himself into transcendence, again fall down. Again fall down. Keep waiting there, again fall down, because his desires are still there. for his own pleasure. So today we discussed in conclusion a lot of things. But what is the takeaway? What should be the takeaway? Beautiful qualities of Lord which Uddhava is describing here. The way Uddhava is expressing his emotions. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran, as I said at the beginning of class, also portrays the emotions, the impressions of those devotees who love Krishna dearly, so that we can reach, we can imbibe those characteristics in our life, which is next to impossible, but we can all try. Beauty and compassionate qualities of Lord, which touch the hearts of devotees. Krishna appears, although he is unborn. Several reasons for Krishna to appear in this world. Only way to understand Krishna is bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. From invisible to visible reason, only a devotee of Lord can reach. And most importantly, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport the characteristics of devotees. There are 26 characteristics of devotees explained by Rupa Goswami, but Srila Prabhupada is giving a glimpse of devotees, characteristics of devotees for this particular verse. These are the takeaways of Vaishnava etiquette. This is the takeaway of Krishna, what he wants from us. Not to do Vaishnava Nivinda, Vaishnava Aparadha. With this, I'm going to stop. Thank you so much for all of your rapt attention. If I have said anything which is not according to the scriptures or according to our teachers, please forgive me, excuse me for my mistakes. And again, please bless me. And please bless me that I can continue on this path of devotional service. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments, additions, corrections at this time? Floor is yours. Yes, please.
Yeah, you started with two qualities of Krishna. So one was like Krishna is ornament of ornaments. And what was the second one? Like compassionate nature? That was the second one.
So Krishna has infinite qualities. But pertaining to this chapter 2 of Canto 3rd of Srimad Bhagavatam, and specifically in context of our verse which we were discussing today. So I was talking about that chapter 2 as a nutshell, that prior to this particular verse, text 15, Krishna, Uddhava was describing the quality of beauty in Krishna. And then from that quality of beauty, and he is the one who made this statement that Krishna is ornament of ornaments. I think in verse 13, he's making this statement, Uddhava. And Uddhava, then from beauty, he shifted from beauty to compassion in this verse, that he is the compassionate controller of all the worlds. And because of his compassion, he comes here as the fire from, as fire comes from the wood or from this. So that's the two qualities in context to this particular verse and particular chapter I talked about. So although Krishna has infinite qualities, so these qualities that touch the hearts of devotees, beauty and compassion. Thank you. Any other question? If not, then we can open for online. Even if you have comment or addition, please go ahead.
Anybody online has any questions?
Wonderful class, Mataji. And lot of points you discussed. And devotees, how they should behave in the house, how they should they should behave, the behavior and everything of devotees. And we know that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, Krishna will become, when Anardha goes, then he comes. We should give that chance, that try to be a good person, try to be sober person. That's all from taking this class, taking home. These are the very good points you just pointed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev.
All best.
Prabhu has Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhavi Gaurangi. Thank you so much for the class and some of the bases and stuff. Mataji, just trying to dissect the Prabhupada's translation. It reads from the pure devotee and the non-devotees are in interactions or restriction, or as you described through Vaishnava Parad, we have some sort of friction with differing consciousnesses. How can we, remain honest with ourselves to have the discernment to let go prior to facing Vaishnava Parad? Because the purport, Srila Prabhupada lays out so perfectly, when that friction is present, Krishna is present. And behind Krishna is there the Mahatma births what? Mahatma births the false ego. So there's the moment there's that interaction, that quality, yes, we know, Krishna is still present, but the Mahatma and the false ego. And so, as devotees developing and growing, how can we continue to have that healthy discernment to, in those moments, just let go? A lot of acharyas and our gurus will say, study despite the power, not saying anything, we're talking to Krishna, and that's the reason we're not abroad. So, it's so sweet that, during this friction, Krishna comes and doing realization. As we grow, the much will be more.
Yeah. Very nice and practical question, Prabhu. So, as aspiring devotees, I think you are not the only one. I also face the same kind of situation. And I'm sure that when we are trying to grow in our bhakti and go in this path of devotional service, there are many times when there is friction, not only with between the devotees and non-devotees, even devotees and devotees, right? Because, of course, as you said, that people have different moods, people have different swabhavas. That's true. But how we save ourselves from them, right? That's the question. So that's why these books or association of senior pure Vaishnavas play its part, right? We say books are the basis. We say association is our basis, is our base. Srila Prabhupada has given this, right? Association, books, chanting, distribution of prasadam, all these things. So this is a process. And because we are conditioned to make mistakes since time immemorial, right? This living entity is on a journey. And we have changed so many bodies over a period of time, that time we don't even know, right? So these impressions are coming from not only from our past life, but also in this lifetime, what we were before we coming into Krishna consciousness, right? What we understand in our educational institutions, what they teach us, you become like this. You become a teacher. You become, you have to be confident. You have to, basically they are teaching how you can become successful at the cost of others. They are teaching that, right? How you can become successful at the cost of others. So it is inbuilt in us, right? You can say it's because of the corrupt educational system, or you can say, and when you come to Krishna consciousness and you keep hearing that Jivera Swarup Hoye Krishna Nityadas, that you are servant of the servant of the servant of the servants. And at that time you're like, ooh, I thought I am better than everybody. Nowadays people are saying, I am servant of the servant of the servant. How to coincide both the things? How? It's difficult. but it comes. It comes with the practice. It comes with continuous reading. It comes with the association of devotees or Vani of Srila Prabhupada and other great teachers, which has given to us so many nice literature. Such nice literature. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given Sharanagati. It has been described that Sharanagati or surrender, what is that? Surrender is not your defeat. Because if in material world, what is surrender? When two armies fight, one just, lost, and then that's the surrender, right? That's what we know. At least that's what, what have been taught to us. But Sharanagati is very sweet. What is Sharanagati? That out of your own free will, you accept Krishna as your master. And that's your victory of your true ego over the false ego. That's the true victory of your soul over illusion. That's the true victory of your over all the anarthas, lust, anger, and greed, the Sharanagati. That's so sweet. And when you are completely surrendered unto the Lord, Krishna gives you the power to become that devotee which is dear to Krishna. In chapter 12, Bhagavad Gita,